Hi, welcome back to another One Chart lesson. Today we are doing the song October 33 by the Black Pumas. This is the second Black Pumas song I am doing a lesson for, and it's by a special request. So let's get straight into it. It's an interesting song. It's an A-B sort of format, which basically means that it's got two parts to the song. So if you look at your One Chart, you'll see that I've mapped out two sections, and at the very top of the chart it shows you what order to play those sections in. So you learn section A, the part that I just played, that's the intro, but it's also, the section A that goes throughout the song. The second part is section B, and we play that usually twice. Usually B is repeated, but it's all mapped out in that line at the top of your One Chart. So download your chart, put it in front of you, and let's get started with this song. The first position here is an A minor position. It's part of an A minor bar chord. I'm not going to go too far into the names of the chords here because they can get quite complex, and you really need to understand these shapes more than the names of the chords, and that can come later. And if you do want to know the names of the chords, then they're on your chart. But I'm going to talk about them in terms of just their positions, right? So the first one is this position here. Now, it's the 7th fret D string and 5th fret on the G, B and E strings. So your first finger goes across the 5th fret, and your third finger is the most comfortable to use on that D string 7th fret. Now, we don't actually need to, but I like to include the open A string here because it's an A minor chord. That open A string helps to fill out this song a little bit. Technically speaking, it's not part of the guitar part on the recording, but because we don't have a bass player to cover that part for us, then we add these bass notes where we can. So that's why I'm using the open A string here as we go up the neck. Now, the first thing we do, strum that once and then again, and then put your pinky on the 7th fret E string and then move it up to the 8th fret. Right? After that, you take this shape and you slide it up 2 frets, and then we move right up to the 12th fret and play that same shape that we did on the 5th fret for the A minor up here on the 12th fret. So you've got 14 on the D and then 12, 12, 12 on the G, B and E strings. That's an E minor chord, or part of an E minor chord. As he goes up to that position, you'll hear this high note kind of shoot off upwards into somewhere. You don't need to play that, but if you wanted to play that, it's probably this. As he goes up to that E minor, I think his pinky is on the 15th fret of the E string, and it kind of shoots off. He sort of slides it up at the same time he lands on that, which is tricky to do, but for the sake of accuracy, that's what I think he's doing. Once you get to that E minor, what you're doing is you're playing simple, and I've tried to make that as clear as I can on the tab. So you're going D string, and then the rest of the chord, D string, then the rest of the chord. It doesn't matter exactly how accurate you are with hitting the right strings there. What matters is you get that sort of. After you do that, then you come down 1 fret to an E flat minor and then land on the D minor. Now when he does the D minor, there are some lower strings that I can hear in the guitar part. So I think he's playing a full D minor bar chord there. And again, with this same sort of rhythm or accents, it's all a D minor chord, and you can strum it how you like, but what I hear is him going. So you're moving between the lower and the higher strings for a different kind of sounding rhythm. If you did them all the same, it would be like. But this way you get this. Then in the second bar of D minor, the rhythm changes slightly and it goes da 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 da. Right? So. And then the very last half beat, you rest. So you cut that last one short, like this. Then we go through that whole pattern again, and the last bar is just a more straightforward rhythm. Now, what I didn't mention before is when you get up to that E minor, don't let that A open string ring on any further, because that will interfere with the E minor chord. If you can, just touch that open A string with this second finger and let your open E string ring out, so you get the bass note changing from A to E, like this. Then down to the D minor. And the last bar of rhythm is kind of like straightforward. That's section A. Okay? Take your time with it, learn those chords, learn that shape. It's a pattern, you just repeat it. Then we go into section B. Now section B is a much more straightforward strumming rhythm. It's all eighth notes and they're all down strums. So rather than draw out a really complicated section on your chart, I've put a simple kind of semi-breve chord, which is a 4-beat chord, so a chord that holds for 4 beats. But I've done that so that the bars will look clean and easy to read. I didn't think there was any point writing that same chord 8 times in each bar. What we're going to do is we're just going to move through these chords. Once you learn the chords, then you turn them into eighth note strums. First chord is the A minor that we started section A with. Then what you do for the next bar is you move your D string 7th fret down to the 6th fret, which gives you, it's like an A minor / G sharp, which means that the G sharp is the lowest note in that chord now. You can still keep using that open A string. Next bar, we take them all down to the 5th fret, so that D string has just gone from 7 to 6 to 5. On the 4th bar, it changes to a D9. So your open A string will now be on the 5th fret, which is a D. And the rest of your chord is 4 on the D string, 5, 5, 5 on the other strings. The bar after that, mute the A string now because we don't want to hear it at all. Drop the D string note down to the 3rd fret. Keep those other 3 strings on the 5th fret. Move the D string back up to the 4th fret where it was for the D9 chord, but it's not a D9 chord now because we are not playing the bass note of D. We're just playing those. It's actually an F sharp half diminished, I think, but it doesn't matter what the name of the chord is. What matters is the shape and how it sounds. Come back for the second last bar of this section, come back to the 3rd fret on the D string, and then go back up to the 4th fret. And then we're back to the start. Usually we're playing this B section twice. In every instant we repeat that B section twice, except for when we play it over the guitar solo or under the guitar solo. Here it is, the B section again, to start from start to finish. Back into the A section. In the very first run through of the A section, that little kind of, that 4th bar where the D minor is playing that rhythm, I think that really only happens like that in the very first time you play it, in the intro. But if you like the sound of it, do it more throughout the song. If you want to do it slightly differently, do it. There are no rules as long as it sounds good. But I put that in there for the sake of accuracy, because that's how he plays it at the very start of the intro. So the song goes, section A, section B, section B, again, section A, section B, section B, back to section A. Then we do one section B, which is where the guitar solo sits. Then it goes back to section A, and it repeats that 4 times, and on the 4th time, or after the 4th time, it starts to fade out towards the end of the song. So once you learn those 2 sections, it's relatively straightforward. And I hope you can get around that nice and comfortably. It's fairly challenging for your fingers and going up and down the neck, especially if you're on an acoustic guitar, but totally doable. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy that. Shoot me any questions that you have, any comments below. I'm always keen to help you out or to hear how you're going. If you're doing really well and you find these lessons useful, please let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again soon.